Coach.
Really excited to be advancing to play Penn State on Sunday. Northwestern made it really difficult today. I thought Russell's done a really nice job in his first year. It's changed a little bit systematically the last 4 or 5 games, and it took a little bit for us to sort out in that first half. But as Joey alluded to, it was really our center backs would have to initiate our attack, and just what kind of balls from there was our secondary movement was really slow and not proactive enough. So we spent time at halftime talking about that. Second half, you saw the difference, and we made a couple adjustments with. You saw Patrick McDowell in the middle, who's he's good in the air for his little guy, and he's also an excellent passer in the open field, one of his strengths. And so we didn't lose confidence in Joe, which that was Patty's day, and I thought he was excellent. So I want to commend Patty. Obviously, Roman saved at the end. Joey's composure for center back to make that play at the end was really cool. You see a lot of kids just blast it, and he picked out where the opening was. And I want to credit their goalie. He's fantastic. He's had a great career, and they had a lot of older players, graduates on Northwestern's team, and some of that might be the last game. I know that's hard. It's always hard the last game, but I want to commend Northwestern for coming in here and fighting hard and representing their school.
I was just talking about sort of that halftime adjustment with that vertical passing. How much easier did it make? Kind of pin them back, I guess, a little bit. It felt like that second half you really contained them a lot better.
Yeah, a couple of things we did. You saw Victor move wide, and we were able to get him inside facing with his right foot and looking for combinations, and not because they have a lot of numbers with those 3 center backs, kind of the 3 in the midfield. It's hard to find the ball, and Vic wasn't finding a lot of it in that first half. So I thought moving him wide was a good adjustment from the staff, and we started using Q a little bit more. Quinn Helmer, and again, it's his passing range. And his ability to kind of unlock with his ideas, I thought really helped our team. And then we just sharpened too. We were moving with more conviction, so it's contagious. You start getting a little sharper, the movement's more dynamic. It's a harder day for Sam Sarver without much space to go behind, right? So you saw less of him today. Not as much, room for Malone. Didn't lost confidence in Malone. Just maybe not the game that suits him as much. So you got to kind of ride the hot hand and the guys that maybe are set up to have more success in this type of game when they did sit a decent amount, 35, 40 football.
Is there anyone who's ever? I guess is there any point where Roman doesn't have the hot hand relative to the way he plays them?
I mean, what's hard is he didn't have to do a lot today, and that's where I think he's grown the most. I think a freshman Roman. I still think he can make that play, but he didn't overplay today. He didn't try to make it. Maybe one exit. I thought he maybe got hit on that he came out for. But we asked him to be aggressive on their serves and their throws because they're dangerous. But Roman didn't have to do much, so to be able to do that in overtime was fantastic. So yeah, it was. We don't give a lot of chances away typically. We're very proud of that. But the ones that we do, when he makes that save, it just lifts the group and goes a long way. And he certainly has so much confidence with his team.
Kind of staying on the back line, can you give an update on Muni and then obviously BB filling in there? Just how do you?
Yeah, Muni had just a little bit of sore ankle, and I might have been a little overreactionary. I just felt he said it hurt a little bit before the game yesterday, a little bit. This is a big playing for a title. I just know how important he is for this team, and we will play past this Big Ten tournament, and we got to make sure he's okay. And so today was a bit of a roll the dice a little bit, but also got Nick on the field and got BB in his secondary position. I should say that carefully, his 3rd or 4th position, and that helps our team. So if this would happen again, I expect BB to play Sunday for sure. And I was just a little overprotective, and I felt like he was a little hesitant on the stepping the first 5 minutes, and that tells me he's a little bit guarded. And if he's not playing with that physicality and that athleticism, then we're not getting the full Muni effect. And so we had plenty of confidence with BB and Nick to go in there and get the job.
Coach, you just take me through that last goal. You pushed your center backs off, and they stayed for that attacking play. Do you want to end it right there? Was that like game plan, putting everyone up?
Well, we did send our center backs more on throws today. That was more. We felt like we just need to get more balls in danger spots, knowing that it's going to be tight for chances through the run play. So that came off a recycled restart. And yeah, we want our guys to stay up there until the ball is fully cleared. And we have our guys that fill in the back spot. So, you don't expect your center back to be the one, necessarily using his feet composed, which is great. Joey was able to do that. It's more for his heading than his challenging. He typically gives us, a chance there. So it's a great team goal, as Joey said. Really nice team goal. A lot of good things that led into that play.
I know in a lot of ways it's not much new for Spencer, but just how good was he today? Just it felt like a lot of good was kind of coming, getting the ball at his feet and kind of letting him run down that side.
Yeah, I thought as the game went, he just got better. And, we challenged him last week. And I said, Spencer, I've given you all season because you've developed every game, and he is now closer to being back to what I would call full Spence. But you had a little step backwards at Maryland, and we challenged him, and he has just responded like I'd expect he would. And he was really good today, really good. And you're going to need your outside backs to make plays when they play out of this system. So we knew that, Brett, Nick, whoever be wide, or Spencer, are going to have a decision, either the combinations, the service, is it available in the box? Do we swing it again? There's so many decisions that will come through those players, but typically that's more your center midfield. And there was very little decisions they had to make. It was more just moving pieces because they kind of man-marked at times, and then driving with the ball. You saw Ben do that a lot, like driving once we were able to get space to go. And I thought we did pretty good with it as well.
I don't want to make you look too far ahead, but is it ever in the back of your mind in a game like this? Because if you lose, you probably aren't. You probably are playing in the first round of the tournament. If you win, you have a great chance of getting a bye and playing and getting a top 16 seed. Does that ever enter your mind when you're during the game or before it, or do you just let the chips fall as they are?
You mean with regards to Muni playing or not, or is that
Muni playing, or just in general, your thought as a coach?
Aggressive? Well, if this game were to finish in a tie and go to penalties and we weren't advancing, it would be a tie. So there is a different result that affects your RPI. Yeah, we're in a great spot with our RPI. I feel confident we are a seeded team, and today's result, I think, was important to move us even farther. Again, I'm not making those decisions, but I feel really good. Our body of work is in a great place. So we'll let the committee and those folks make those decisions on where we would fall. But there's a lot of things you got to decide. It's short and now, and it's also where do we want to be in a week or two. So I do know the Muni needs to be healthy for us to be at our full strength to go as far as we can go. But you saw last year with Spencer Glass, he's one of our top players, and we made it all the way to final without him. So we got guys that can do the job. But yeah, we're always thinking about those things, but not getting too far ahead, because the reality is we don't have control of that. I tell our players, don't focus on something you have no control over. So I was managing more on just his health and our team, not as much on the what ifs of seeding. That point is going to be hard to always predict.
I think you guys finished with 16 shots and a handful of corners, obviously the set pieces too. Do you ever get the sense that maybe they got a little frustrated that some of these weren't kind of going their way, or was it more that they knew it was coming at some point, or just when?
I felt really confident the group was feeling good about it. I did. Our restarts, the goalie's he's tough. He's tough. Like a lot of things that we want to do, he kind of negates with some of our corners. So I thought we could have been a bit better. We did find one particular play that we were wanting to find, and we just didn't execute the flick. But overall, I felt like we didn't get frustrated when the chances didn't give us something really strong. I think the guys just stayed focused and got ready for the next play. So there's a real fine line of getting over the edge of frustration with chances versus it's coming, just keep doing it. I thought we were right on that good edge of staying composed, but being very on the front foot, and also not getting everyone forward and leaving the back, for a fire drill, which is the one transition we did get caught once, but not multiple times.
Time for one or two more. Anything else? All right.
All right, guys.